Thanks, Karen. My guest today is Gary Gugee. Gary Gugee's journey of recovery from anxiety and depression really started when he became a client at South Bay Mental Health. After 4 months of trying different medications, his anxiety lessened and his mood improved. He wanted to learn everything he could about staying well and became a volunteer at South Bay Mental Health for 2 years. He was introduced to the Procovery tool and began facilitating groups and developed his own. Gary took a weekly group of 3 people and turned it into 30. He was hired as a peer advocate and was later promoted to community worker. In 2007, he won the DMH Volunteer of the Year Award. Gary has made a difference in the lives of many staff and clients. Welcome, Gary, to Walk the Talk.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your recovery. How do you maintain your own recovery?
Well, it hasn't been that difficult for me to maintain my recovery. You know, my recovery has moved from a state of recovery into a state of wellness, and it had a lot to do with the job that I have. It's very therapeutic for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
as an advocate?
As an advocate,
helping others?
Yeah, helping others is very therapeutic. Being able to understand more about what was ailing me, you know, it helped me to focus on being well instead of having a plan to be sick.
Well, how do you handle when symptoms come up?
The first symptom I get, because I suffer with generalized anxiety
Mm-hmm.
and major depression. And it's not a struggle for me anymore. Usually the symptom that comes up to me is if I get real quiet. If I get quiet, you know, before the illness would force me into isolation or detaching from others, but that doesn't happen anymore. Usually when I get quiet now, I use it for something that needs to be quiet. Like I use it to do paperwork because that takes being quiet. And I shift my focus into music. I like to listen to music, and that takes being quiet. And I also exercise.
I know that you're involved with the Procovery Circle, and that has really helped you too, and many others. How does that work?
It brings a smile to my face to talk about Procovery because, you know, the difference in Procovery is always moving forward. You know, it implies that you're moving forward, and you know, through the process of learning about Procovery, it catapulted me into a different level of wellness.
And you can start where you're at. No matter where you're at, you can start wherever you are.
Right. You don't have to have a certain diagnosis. You don't have to have a certain ability to pay attention. You just need to be in the circle because the circle has a healing power of its own. And what it does, we address topics like dissolving stigma, managing medications, self-care, making intentional choices instead of reactive choices. It addresses a whole part of us, not just illness, but everyday living. Mm-hmm. And that's why it became so powerful to me. And what happened while I was seeking the help at South Bay, this was something I really needed. Mm-hmm. It answered a lot of questions for me pertaining to how to change my lifestyle and be productive and accept my illness as it was.
And now you're teaching others about
Absolutely. And I think that's what makes my job very wonderful too, because I get the chance to participate in people's lives every day in a positive way.
You're so inspirational because you are walking the talk. You've been there, you've done that, and now you're getting promoted all over the place. And you've grown your group from 3 to 30 people, which is amazing. And I know you call them to make sure they show up every time.
Absolutely. I call every week, and a lot of people I work with say, how you do that, why you do that? I say, because people need to know that someone really cares about them, and not only that someone cares about them, but also that we need to be inspired. You know, I find that inspiration works a lot better than motivating because with inspiration, hope is attached to it. And we all believe in a process of hope.
Mm-hmm. How does being an advocate help you?
What it does for me is it gives me a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Mm-hmm. And every day I feel like I'm going to be able to serve someone and enrich their lives just by an encounter with them.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Kathleen. And I want to thank the department because Department of Mental Health Los Angeles County is awesome. Because I would never have gotten nowhere near as well as my whole life is full now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to Karen.